Good morning, good morning, good morning. Here we are at another Friday, the second Friday of March. The year is moving along pretty rapidly, it seems, for me. I am feeling much better than I was last Friday this time, and I give God all the glory. But I just want to come on and continue to talk about some of the stuff I talked about last week, coming from behind and not worrying about where you came from and just work on what you've been called to do. Allow your gifts to operate and do what it is that you've been called to do. And talked about distractions a couple of weeks ago and how things will come up to distract us from our call, from our purpose in life. And the distractions just happen. I mean, you can be sitting at work and on something and just pick up your phone for a second because it dings or whatever and become distracted. Such is it with life and with our purpose and with our walk. There are distractions that come and try to align themselves with us, but it's just getting us off track of our purpose. And we have to be mindful of those things. And I was listening to Marvin Sapp on Sunday, ministering from the church that he pastors. And he was in his message, he mentioned about being in purpose, on purpose, and not allowing yourself. And we have been dealing with, like I say, distractions, disruption, being dismayed, dysfunctional. And he put another D in there. He put in derailed. Don't allow the enemy to derail you. So, from your purpose, from your calling, because I was talking to my bestie on yesterday. Sometimes people make a post and you pray, and sometimes people make a post and you keep scrolling, and sometimes people make a post and you make assumptions. And then there are times when people make a post and you make a phone call. And as I sit back and I chuckled, I say, well, did I even say hello? I think when she answered the phone, I say, hey, what's up? What's going on? I saw your post. But I tell you, man, when you're connected to people, certain things, just things that affect them affect you. And being an only child, my circle ain't big, but those that are in my circle, we are tight, we are close knit. And what concerns them concerns me. What concerns me concerns them. And that's just how we are. That's just how we roll. That's just what we do. But I got that call and we chatted for a little bit. And this morning I awakened again, still with that on my heart and in my mind. And I say to you out there that may view this video, if you would just cover the issue that we're dealing with in prayer. I'm not going into details for it, but if you can just petition God and you just tell him, you know what she's talking about, God. And they need your hand in it. They need your work in it. And we'll go from there. Because a lot of time I know people just want to know what's going on, and not necessarily want to be involved in the prayers of resolving whatever the issues or concerns may be. Some of them just outright knows it. They don't really, ain't gonna really come out on your behalf and intercede and pray. They just want to know the details of the matter. But so to all the prayer warriors and intercessors out there, just cover this situation in prayer. And we know, as they often say, in order for God to work a miracle, he needs a miracle situation. So there's a miracle situation out here that we need God's miraculous help on. And if you would just cover us in prayer and keep them and theirs, we greatly appreciate it. And I talked a little bit last week on, not allowing where you come from or the circumstances of your being here determine who you are or what you intend to be. And I did my Man Crush Monday this week on my adorable husband, who by all means could have chosen such a different path for life. But I give God all the glory for protecting him, keeping him, um, giving him a will to fight. And he's still fighting. He called me the other day and shared some stuff with me. And I tell you, when you're in positions and when you're in place, as they often say, new levels bring new devils. But I just wanted, that's why you got to be protected. That's why you got to be prayed up. That's why you got to cover your husband. You got to cover your wife. You got to cover your children. You got to cover your loved ones. You got to cover your friends in prayer. You got to cover your pastors, your leaders. You have to cover them in prayer because there is so much opposition that comes against them just because of the position and places in life that they hold. As parents, we have to cover one another. Whether you're together or you're co-parenting, you have to cover one another. You have to cover your workplace. And I say often, God, if the only reason you protect whatever it is in that moment that I'm asking you to protect, if the only reason you protect it is because my children are there, my husband is there, my loved one is there, I am there, then God, I thank you for protecting it. We used to hear our grandparents and great grandparents say, it's praying time. And if it was praying time back then, 20, 30, 40 years ago, and even more, I say right now, it's praying time. There is so much going on in this world that the only thing that can change it is prayer. God has to come in. He has to be the I am that I am that I am. And whatever your I am is, or whatever it is that you need, He is. He's your I am for whatever that is. Just be mindful, be prayerful, continue to cover and protect your children, your grandchildren, great grands, nieces. Just protect your family, protect your circle, just pray and protect. And I thank God for the people that, like I say, I don't have to talk to every day, but every now and again, they'll send something and say, you were on my mind. I thought of you this morning. Thank you for thinking of me. Last Friday, I think it was, I was late getting started, and I don't think I got my Friday text out to my group of people that I text on a daily basis. But the majority of them did reach out and text me on Friday. And I appreciate that, because there do come times when you're just downtrodden. You just the weight of the world is on your shoulders. You're heavy. You're heavy. And you're moving a little slow. And sometimes things get out of routine. But God, and He always has somebody there to remind you of His greatness, of His covering, of His protection for you. So don't matter where you are and what you're doing in life, just know God's always with you. Whatever situation you came into this world in, God allowed you to get here. And if you're here, then there is purpose in your life. And just walk out your purpose. Do whatever and everything you can to walk out that which you feel that you are led and called to do. Don't allow the enemy to use, as I said last week, your passage of getting here. You not having a father in your life, your mother abandoned you, the loss of a loved one or a sibling at an early age, and you being raised by a grandparent, or your sister had to raise you, or your brother had to raise you. And your parents could have been in the home. But because they had their devils that they were battling, or the things that they were struggling with, or just the life, the raising that they had been taught, and that's called generational stuff. You see people, well, my mama did this and my grandmama did that. My mama said my grandmama did that, and that's why she did it. And as I say this, I think of an old story where they said the lady would buy a ham, and every year she cooked the ham, she'd cut the end off of it. And she asked, one of the kids asked, why did she cut the end off? She said, because I always saw my mom cut the end off. So the kid goes and asks Grandma, Grandma, why you cut the end off your ham before you cook it? And she said, because it was too big to fit in the pot, so I had to cut a portion off so that it will fit in the pot. So sometimes we just do things to do, and yet here we have a big enough pot to put the whole ham in. But because we've seen it done this way, this is what we do, because that's what we've seen done. And sometimes we see life, and we see life modeled, and my mama did this and my dad did this, and that's just the way we do things as a family. Well, some things we do as a family need not to continue. And somebody has to be that saving grace, that generational breaker, and move on from some things, and denounce some things, and then pronounce some things on our lives and in our families, and on the children and grandchildren to come, and just allow God to be all that He wants to be and He's called to be in our lives. So hold your head up high. Know it's okay to come from behind. It's not about how you start, but just please finish. Finish that which you've been called to do. Do it with, and you know what? Sometimes you may get a little thrown back with it. But yet, if you just have to stand still for a moment to get your footing, to be able to do what it is that you've been called to do, don't allow any enemy to come in and derail that which you know you've been called to do. Because whatever it is that you've been called to do is not for you. It's for those in your lives, or those that will come behind you, that it will set a standard for, it will set a precedence for. It will be something that they can utilize, something to strengthen, to help them to be able to navigate this thing called life. Life is a road that we all must travel. And in traveling, we're gonna hit some potholes. We're gonna come in, have some steep hills that we may have to get up. And then there may just be some low-lying areas that sometimes are troubled with water, and we gotta wade our way through it. But just knowing wherever we are in life, that God is there with us. And there's nothing, nothing, nothing too hard for Him. So just remain encouraged, stay focused, keep your heads up, protect your heart. I saw a billboard yesterday on my way to a function that said, and I'm going to try to get this right, it says, the heart remembers what the mind forgets. I read that, and instantly I had an incident that related that so well. So it was brought to life to me. The heart remembers what the mind can forget or forgets. And that is so true. And you know how it triggers, and I can say, I have dreams of my parents, like for the last week or two. And I was like, wow, just having conversations with them. And it dawned on me that March 7th is their wedding anniversary. And I was like, okay. So my mind, it had escaped my mind that March 7th was their anniversary. But my heart remembered that March 7th was their anniversary. So life has a way of shielding us, protecting us, and yet reminding us of things that are important, that are vital in our lives. So that's why we want to make good memories. We want to make lasting memories, memories that even in the absence of our loved ones or friends, we can still smile because of the great times that we've had together. Life, whew, as the kids say now, life be lifing, but God. And I'm just forever thankful. I'm thankful for my upbringing, and I think they say this is what, Women's Month, Women's Month, Women's Month. So there are so many women that have played a part in my life that I can stand where I stand today, sit where I sit today, that I am who I am today for some phenomenal women in my life. My godmothers are amazing. They in my youth they kept me. When I think of the sisters and the deaconess and just the women of God in the church where I grew up at, both Alpine and Faith Assembly, some amazing women have been a part of my life, and today I salute them and I say thank you. Thank you for your guidance. Thank you for your discipline. Thank you for your love. Most of all, thank you. There's just, and I said before about this, that group of youth that I came up with back in the late 70s, early 80s. Just a different breed. And we still communicate with one another. We still love on one another. We still encourage and motivate one another. And guess what? We still praise God together. We may be in different locations, but there's no distance in the spirit. And there's some women that have been vital in my life with the transition moving from Louisiana to Florida. I've met some amazing women. And I just thank God that He just allows me to, He loves me enough to connect me with like-minded women. There have been some that I have been joined with, but yet not connected with, because that stint was temporary. And I thank God for that, because there's lessons in it all. Whatever we get in life and whatever we go through in life, there's a lesson in it. And it's never a loss. It's a lesson. And you take that lesson, you learn from it, and most times you can apply it somewhere else in life. But you just hold fast and stand strong in that which you've been called to do. So as always, I want to wish you a fantastically faith-filled Friday, a soulful Saturday, and a soul-stirring Sunday in the church of your choice. And as we move on through the weekend and the week ahead, God willing, just hold fast to your confession. Know that no matter what you're going through, just keep pushing so that you can get through it. And there's greatness on the other side. There's peace on the other side. And you know, the God we serve can provide us peace in the midst of chaos. When it seems that everything around you is crumbling and falling, and you're spiraling seemingly out of control, even in a downward spiral, God can give you peace. And when you can look and see a chaotic situation, but even in the chaos, you have a peace. It's an amazing feeling. It's a rewarding feeling. And it gives you so much joy, so much confidence, so much faith in God to know, wow, I should just like be losing my mind right now. But I have such a peace. And God can do it. He has done it. And He will do it. Hold fast to your confessions. Stand strong in your faith. Remain encouraged and stay focused. Y'all have an amazing weekend, and do what makes you happy. Do something that makes you smile this weekend. May God bless you and keep you is my prayer. And know, if you have a miracle situation that needs God to work a miracle, as long as the ingredients are there, that need a miracle. God can mix it all up, bake it, and let it come out savory. So just continue to trust Him. Don't lose faith. Don't lose hope. Whatever it is that you're faced with, God is so much bigger than whatever and we're faced with or whatever we will ever be faced with. God is so much bigger, and He's powerful, and He's strong, and He controls everything. Even that situation, He's in control of it. Y'all be blessed, and until we meet again, may God comfort, keep, protect you is my prayer. Have an amazing day. Bye bye.